Have you ever wondered how cleverness can sometimes lead to trouble? Cleverness, much like a double-edged sword, can carve paths to success or slice through the very plans it intends to serve. Today, we'll explore the story of a fox, famed for his wit and cunning. But as we'll see, even the sharpest minds can find themselves outfoxed by their own schemes. Let's dive into a tale that weaves this very idea into the life of a seemingly cunning fox. In a lush, vibrant forest lived a fox known for his wit and cunning. This particular fox was famed throughout the woodland for his sharp mind and ability to solve any challenge that came his way, especially when it involved his next meal. Now, in this forest, life was usually abundant, with nature providing generously for all its inhabitants. But as fate would have it, the forest began to suffer from a relentless drought. Streams that once danced merrily between the trees slowed to a mere trickle, and the lush undergrowth that hid both predator and prey thinned drastically. Food, which was once plentiful, now became a treasure more precious than the shiniest of gems. It was during these trying times that our fox, ever so resourceful, realized that relying solely on the forest's dwindling resources wouldn't suffice. With a belly rumbling more often than thunder, he concocted a plan. As the forest dried, the fox set his sights on a new hunting ground, the nearby village. Hunger led our fox to a risky but potentially rewarding target. Nestled on the edge of the village, just beyond the whispering trees of the forest, was a cloth washing merchant's stable. It was not filled with the usual suspects of cows or goats, but rather with clucking, unsuspecting hens. As night draped its cloak over the village, our fox, with a belly as empty as a drum, plotted his approach. The stable, guarded only by the moon's soft glow, presented a golden opportunity. With stealth that would make even a shadow seem clumsy, he slinked through the underbrush, his eyes fixed on the prize. The wooden beams of the stable creaked under his careful steps as he inched closer to the hens. Selecting the plumpest hen, which was blissfully unaware of its fate, he made his move. Quick as a flash, he grabbed the hen, muffled its squawks, and vanished into the night as silently as he had arrived. With a successful first heist, the fox's confidence soared. But cleverness often leaves clues. In our tale, the merchant, a simple man who prided himself on his keen observation skills, began to notice something amiss. Day after day, his count of hens dwindled. One missing hen could be a fluke, 2 raised eyebrows, but 3? That was a pattern impossible to ignore. As the sun rose and painted the village in hues of orange and gold, the merchant stood by his henhouse, scratching his head. His suspicion turned into a certainty. Someone or something was outsmarting him. Determined not to be outwitted, he devised a plan. With a mind as sharp as a fox, though he hadn't yet guessed the nature of his adversary, the merchant set to work. He crafted a trap, ingeniously simple yet effective, designed specifically to catch his clever intruder without harm. With the trap set, the merchant retreated, his heart pounding with anticipation. He hid behind a stack of hay, eyes fixed on the henhouse. Prepared and patient, the merchant waited, hoping to catch the cunning thief. Even the cleverest plans can face unexpected challenges. Our fox, sharp and sly, had been outwitting the merchant for days. But as dawn painted the sky with strokes of pink and orange, he sensed something different. The air was charged with caution. The ground whispered of danger. Today, the path to the henhouse was not as welcoming as it had been. Peering from behind a bush, the fox spotted it. A newly rigged trap, cleverly disguised beneath a layer of straw. It was a simple yet cunning snare, designed to catch our fox unawares. But he was no ordinary fox. With a flick of his tail and a sparkle in his eye, he devised a quick plan. Darting forward, he triggered the trap with a stick, watching as the net harmlessly snapped into the air. With a triumphant grin, he skirted around the danger and made his way to the henhouse, his heart pounding with the thrill of the chase. His escape was almost perfect, until fate took a colorful turn. Sometimes escaping one trap leads into another. In his latest escapade, our clever fox had narrowly dodged the merchant's cunning trap. But as he dashed for freedom, his luck took a colorful turn. The fox, in his haste, stumbled and tumbled right into a large tank used by the merchant for dyeing clothes. This was no ordinary tank. It was filled to the brim with vibrant blue dye. As he splashed into the liquid, the dye enveloped him, coating every strand of his fur in a deep sapphire hue. The scene was chaotic, with blue splatters everywhere and the fox in a frenzy trying to find his way out. After several frantic attempts, he finally scrambled out, but he was no longer the orange fox known to the forest. Dripping and completely transformed in appearance, he made his way back to the forest. His once familiar features were now masked in an eerie blue. Unrecognizable, the blue fox faced a forest that saw him as a stranger, a mysterious creature. Fear can sometimes be manipulated, a lesson our blue fox learned quickly. As he wandered back into the forest, his fur drenched in a striking shade of blue, he became a spectacle of mystery and fear. The other animals, startled by his unfamiliar appearance, whispered among themselves, speculating about this strange new creature. Seizing this unexpected opportunity, the blue fox concocted a clever ruse. With a sly grin and a commanding tone, he declared himself to be a powerful spirit sent to oversee the forest. Believing they were in the presence of a mystical entity, the jittery animals didn't dare to question his authority. Instead, they agreed to bring him food every day, hoping to appease the formidable blue figure. Day by day, as he feasted on the fruits of their labor, the blue fox's sense of power intensified. His demands became more extravagant and his manner more imperious. With each passing day, the blue fox grew not only in arrogance, but in cruelty. But no secret can remain hidden under the moon's watchful eyes. On a night graced by a brilliant full moon, the forest was alive with the magic of moonlight. As the beams danced through the trees, a stirring in the heart of the blue fox brought forth an irresistible urge. Overcome by the call of his kind, he threw back his head and let out a long, haunting howl. The sound, pure and unmistakable, echoed through the forest. It was a sound all too familiar to the other animals, yet they had not heard it from this strange blue creature before. Suspicion awakened within them as the echo of the howl lingered in the air. Gathering together under the silver glow, the animals whispered and watched. Another howl, filled with the wildness of the fox's true nature, confirmed their growing doubts. The pieces fell into place, and realization dawned on their faces. The veil was lifted, and the deceived animals saw the truth behind the disguise. Every tale has its end, and every end has its lesson. In our story, the clever fox, now cloaked in an enchanting shade of blue, had convinced the forest creatures that he was a mysterious being to be feared and revered. This deception worked in his favor for a time, granting him an endless supply of food brought to him by the frightened animals. However, deceit has a way of unraveling at the seams. During a bright full moon night, the blue fox, swept up in the moment, forgot his guise and howled into the night sky. His howl, a common sound amongst foxes, was a slip that cost him dearly. The other animals, recognizing the familiar cry, realized they had been tricked. Anger replaced fear, and unity replaced submission. The once revered blue fox found himself chased out of the forest by those he had deceived. As he fled, the very colors that had been his disguise washed away, leaving behind the plain, clever fox, no longer a figure of mystery, but simply a reminder of betrayal. This tale spins a thread of caution about the perils of deceit. It teaches us that trust, once broken, is not easily mended, and that those who manipulate others often find themselves alone when their true colors are revealed. So remember, cleverness can be a gift, but when tainted with deceit, it can lead to one's downfall. Trust wisely and never underestimate the power of truth.